it's time for something a little bit different for me. Hey everyone, welcome to Unicorn Overlord. I'm doing this as a little bit of a weird series, because I will be uploading this as a daily series concurrent with my, at the time of this one gonna be coming out and recording during the Xenoblade 3 series. This recorded about a week or so after the game came out, and I have been playing it so much. This game is very fun, so let's just hop right into it. Also, you know, sooner games closer to release, gotta get that engagement, viewership numbers.
I beg you, my queen, take leave of this place while you're still able.
To where, I might ask? Nigh every last of Cornia's lords has forsaken us in favor of the traitor Valmor. No refuge remains for a crowned fugitive. Yet the general seeks my death and mine alone. I shall not flee from that fate. Though you still can, a sole rider with Elaine at your side. Take him, Joseph. Raise that delicate seedling into a sturdy tree capable of weathering the harsh climes that await. And pray safeguard the ring of the unicorn as well. Hold it close to you until Elaine is a man grown. He will have need of the power it bears.
My queen,
Mother? Are they coming for us?
Heed well these words, Elaine. I say this not as your mother, but as your queen. From here forth, you're to treat Joseph's command as though it were spoken directly with my tongue. Do you understand?
Of course, but is there something amiss?
My faith and more lies with you, Joseph. I only pray it is enough. Farewell, and may the heavens guide you.
Why are you just standing there, Joseph? Aren't you going to help her?
would that I were able, my prince. Come, we've not a minute to spare.
Bar all exits to the city. The queen is not to leave these walls alive. Our great general reduced a little more than a base traitor, hmm? You find my head not so easily parted from my shoulders, Valmor, if you can say the same. Come, everyone. We march this day for Her Majesty Elenia. The way that this game plays out is that it's a real-time strategy game, kind of. Right now, we're actually just going to look at our units. We'll get into more details on these later, but I just want to point out the people that we have. We have Elenia, we have Hodrick, Renault, and Alcina, and also Gaily. Again, I'll get into the details about tactics and items and all that stuff later. So, we can click move, and they will automatically go to people out here. There is one other thing I want to do, and that's check out these people on the outside. We have Geeth. I am pronouncing these as they actually are. I think this guy is just a generic Bradley. Then we have Raymond. And Hodel. And I think that's it.
I have you.
Again, we'll get into more details about how the gameplay actually worked in this in a little bit. I think it'll be later this episode. I think we'll be able to get fully through the prologue.
I trust you.
But regardless, see a lot of things going on. Again, it's stuff that I will explain at a later point, because, well, we're just in a prologue, getting some story and some very basic things in terms of gameplay. There is also, of course, Valmore right here. And I think that's the last of the unique-ish characters. Just wanted to point those people out as people that exist. That, well, yeah, we'll see about those.
I trust you.
Yeah, right now we're just I will say the art style is actually is really good in this game. Both the backgrounds and the character models, I think, are very well stylized. The game kind of gives me Octopath vibes. Mainly in terms of like it's mainly in terms of the background and the overworld art style, but because obviously the gameplay is gameplay's kind of like reverse Octopath, because of their BP. Yeah, BP. It's their BP system. But again, we'll get into more details around these in a bit. Is the thing we get properly tutorialized about everything in a little bit.
Caesar!
Enlighten me, Valmore. To what end do you seek to usurp my throne?
Self-centered fool. It's not merely your throne I aspire towards. It's all of them. Zenoira are the rightful sovereigns of Fevrith, and I, the blade to restore our world to its natural order.
You seek to plunge the continent into war. Fevrith need not suffer your delusions.
A proper ruler demands unity, not pointless politicking with insufferable neighbors. Now, I shall achieve that unity through conquest and reclaim that which is rightfully mine.
I would sooner see you slain by my hand!
Gone according to plan, my lord.
And yet our work only just begins. We stand now at a new dawn for Fevrith, one which will see Zenoira's dominion restored at last. Curious, though, that we've no trace of the old knight's captain.
About that, my lord. A lone cavalry unit was spotted riding through the eastern gate before it was barred.
Then the boy is lost to us. A truth obscured only by his mother's futile attempt at a counter-offensive. It would seem I underestimated her penchant for deception.
Year 895 of the Hallowed Chronicle. Claiming himself a scion of the fallen Zenoiran Empire, Cornia's once decorated General Valmore rebelled against his erstwhile home at the seat of its monarchy, Gran Corinne. Its queen, Elenia, bold in the face of this staggering betrayal, stood unshrinking as the shield to her son Elaine's safe flight, and mustering what meager forces remained by her side, she rallied a defense as valorous as it was damned. With Cornea's queen lost, care of the young prince fell to her faithful knight, Joseph, who took wing beyond Valmor's wretched grasp to asylum on the thorned Isle of Palavia in the Holy Kingdom of Albion. And boastfully proclaiming himself Fevrith's new emperor, Valmor donned a second name, Calarius, and began a relentless onslaught the continent's nations could only but struggle against. Yet each realm's endeavors fell in vain time and again, and ere long Zenoira's vile dominion was realized. His blood-soaked unification come to bear, few dared stand against the ironclad fist of Emperor Galerius. Embers of resistance burned on, yet the downtrodden could cling only to furtive hopes of liberation. Desperate prayers which fell upon deaf ears night after unceasing night. 10 years have passed since the Shroud of War first set over Cornea.
I wonder if those two are at it again. Well, that takes care of the altar. I suppose I should be getting back.
Sorry, Elaine, but this round's mine.
Ah, you always were the optimist.
Damn it! You got a good hit in, I'll give you that. There's just no stopping you these days.
Yet you've grown no less than I have. Still, we could likely train for the rest of our lives, and even then, never manage to best Joseph.
Weird to think he's back on the mainland now. Finally making that Liberation Army thing a reality, huh? Guess that means we'll be going up against Zenoira soon.
Indeed it does. The people of Cornea are suffering, Lex. Crying out for whatever help will hear their pleas. Should I turn a deaf ear to those voices, I would have little and less claim to the crown I feel is mine. That, and I owe it to my mother to see them safe.
Well, yeah, but Zenoira's got the whole world in the palm of their hand. How are we gonna fight back against that?
The earth may be theirs, but the heavens will surely favor those who stand for justice.
You got a point there. Sorry for not sounding all too confident. Just make sure you don't take it all on yourself. I'll be with you every step of the way.
Thank you, Lex. You know I can't do this without you.
Oh, stop. You're gonna make me blush. Anyway, that's enough training for today. We're gonna miss lunch if we don't get moving.
I suppose it is that time.
You see something out there?
It's a ship.
Looks like they're flying Zenoira colors, too.
This island is no longer safe. We have to tell the others.
With you there. You head for the cathedral. I'll make sure the town knows what's coming.
Seal off the harbor, and do it quick!
Not a soul gets off this island under our watch. All soldiers have alighted, sir!
Dispatch the vanguard to the cathedral. And remember, we're to apprehend the target alive.
Understood, sir!
O Heavenly Father, ruler of land and sky above, we pray this day for deliverance from evil. Grant us the meager sustenance to nourish our fragile bodies in the times to come. Guide our lost souls on the path to salvation. Shine down your radiant light upon us, for darkness looms thick through all corners of Fevrith. Such is my request as your humble servant. In the name of the guardian Unicorn, and that of the Holy Mother. Is that you, Elaine? How many times must I ask you not to stomp around in the cathedral? What is the meaning of this?
Well, look what we've got here. Seems we're the first to show.
Rough her up if you want, but don't forget, the girl dies and our heads will roll too.
Such depravity will not go unpunished. Not in the house of the Heavenly Father.
Yeah? Then you'd best get to praying.
She's fast.
Not as fast as us.
What the?
Scarlet, are you hurt?
Only a little shaken, that's all. What's happening to us, Elaine?
A ship has come ashore on Palavian soil. One hoisting the banner of the Zenoiran army.
And are they aware that you're the Crown Prince?
I can't say for certain, but we know one thing. These people are our enemy, and they must be stopped.
Yes. My cathedral will see no more bloodshed this day. Come, let's move outside.
Your Highness, it's a relief to see you unharmed.
Hold on. Where's Lex?
He went ahead to alert the town. We best find him and get to the harbor.
Indeed. But first, my prince, this belongs to you.
A ring?
The Ring of the Unicorn. Queen Elenia wished for you to have it. In truth, I had intended to wait till signs of age played more deeply across your face. But we no longer have such luxury. I have the utmost faith you'll see it secured.
A keepsake from my mother. Thank you for this, Joseph. Truly.
Make no further mention of it. Now, let us be off.
So, this is basically just saying, hey, there's real-time stuff going on. In every mission, you'll have a blue flag, which is your command post. If we pop on over to the command post, we can see that we have, well, only one unit, which is Elaine's unit. You can place them, well, quote-unquote, anywhere within this ring. Obviously, can't go in the water. So we'll just set ourselves out as close to the town as possible. On the top left, we'll have Valor points. Elaine, look, they've already reached the town. Then we know our first aim. Must dispatch those soldiers as quickly as possible. So yeah, on the top left, we see our Valor points. That is used for deploying units, and another thing that we'll get to a little bit later on. I think we get that in the... because there's a second half to this mission. So yeah, we'll just go and attack. I believe this will kind of... yeah, okay. We can go into Organize to check out our details, as well as... I think we can... yeah, we can check out the details of the enemy as well. We'll get to exactly how the combat works in just a moment. So, we'll just go right here. So there's initiative, there'll be active skills. There's basically two types of power points, so to speak. It's initiative order, once everyone runs out of AP or just can't do anything is more accurate. Then, yeah, there's some things where there'll be conditions, which consume passive points, that's their second type. So basically, every type of move has a certain cost to it. Either that one missed, there's Holy Light that Scarlet can use. Parting Blow ends the battle. And there we go. So it's once either everyone's defeated or no one can do anything. Actually, it's just when no one can do anything. Once someone is defeated, they will be pushed back, and if they are grayed out, we almost have them. Just one more push. If they are kind of grayed out like this, that means that you'll be able to get a first strike on them. We'll show that off right now. There's a little timer under there to tell how long it is. So, yeah. I think this just moves everyone's initiative up a stage. Or it might just be your first initiative goes first. I don't fully remember. Yeah, okay, it is just everyone's moved up an initiative stage. Get some experience, get some gold. Good stuff like that. Good, all that remains now is to reclaim the town. That's where Lex headed, right? I hope he's okay. Simply by clicking on a flag with a unit, you can go and select them to garrison. But first, I want to go into a little bit more details about our the way that we have our tactics out. So, as I said, there is your normal tactics, your active skills, and your passive skills. You'll get more of them as you level up. Valor skills, we'll get to those in a little bit. But yeah, you get them as you level up. You can see their effects down there. Lean Edge is a heal, and if you defeat them, you recover half of your HP. This is not based off of damage, this is just flat up max HP heal. Lean Edge is very good. Noble Guard is that there's a medium guard, so there's 3 different guard levels, which is just how much do you guard. You also get a little bit more defense, and you'll get more PP if you have low health. There's a little bit more that we can do. We'll do that in a little bit. As for Scarlet, she has Holy Light, which will remove buffs, and Quick Heal, which after an ally is hit, will restore HP. That is actually one thing to note. The passive skills always have a condition. I think so. I am pretty sure some active skills have conditions, but every passive skill has a condition. You can kind of think of it as conditional skills, I guess. We'll get to the stats later. But yeah, go and garrison Palavia Town. We get more Valor points, as well as getting 2 HP from most buildings when you garrison them. Lex! Hey, sorry about that. You caught me off guard there. But don't worry, everyone's safe. I made sure of it. I knew I was right to count on you. I'm glad you're unharmed as well. See, I wish I could have done more, though. You let me scout on ahead to make up for it. You don't have to click on any specific locations in order to move as well. Instead, you can just click a location.
So, what next?
Just what I was hoping for. It's time to show these guys what I'm made of.
I'm up.
So we can move him into battle. For Lex, he has Warding Slash, which gives him more physical defense, and Arrow Cover nullifies any ranged physical damage. It's very situational. Is Arrow Guard. Smash lowers our physical defense. There we can see it. But more, it does use. So this game has a kind of oldie English way of saying things, or spelling things, I should say. We get pushed back for losing. Damn, I've gotten too eager there. Lex! No, we'll never make it in time. Allow me, Your Highness. Different units have different mobility. We'll get into that in a little bit more specifics at a later point. It won't be too long, I don't think. Spend a Valor point to get Joseph out there, and then we can charge him ahead. Oh. Very well. Moving towards Lex's unit. I am your foe this day. Prepare to be struck down. And if you have units that are close by, you could actually swap them around. Very, very, very helpful is the pre-battle prediction. This takes into account all of the hit rate stuff already. It doesn't really matter for this one, but it's a very active calculation. So you can have things where, like, if you buff yourself before a battle, which you can only do with items in order to change this, then that'll actively change out what the results are going to be. Even if it's something that's not really all that related, it might do something different. Regardless, we can see that because of the skull and crossbones, Lex would die, but because if Joseph attacks, then the enemies would die. If you think about this game in terms of Fire Emblem, Joseph is basically our Jagan. However, there isn't really growth rates or anything. My stats are fairly linear. There's some exceptions here and there. Chloe has first aid. I'll get more into depth on some of the specific stats next time, but we're gonna finish up this stuff. Lex, are you alright? Somehow, yeah. Start to make you worry. You know, it's a miracle you can even put your armor on straight. Here, this medicine can perk you up again. Get some healing tonics, which we can heal. Obviously.
I've got to make this work.
Healing tonic, small healing tonics, actually, 30 HP is pretty significant. Phew, I needed that. Chloe, perhaps you'd be better served watching after Lex directly. Fear's a bit of a liability on his own. Very much agreed. No more messing around, Lex. I'll be keeping a close eye on you. Ugh. Now then, this area appears to be safe for the time being. Let's hurry on to the harbor. My word, but that's Hodrick. He now used to stand as the stalwart pillars of Cornea's defense. What might possibly have changed him? Prepare yourself, rebels. Any foolish enough to defy Emperor Galerius must be put to the sword. Seems combat is our only path forward. Indeed, ridding this land of the enemy must be your first and only priority, no matter who that enemy may be. There will always be a time limit on your battles, which you can see up at the top of the screen. You can also select multiple units at a time, and the reason I say that it's kind of real-time strategy is because you can pause. But yeah, there's always a time limit up there, so you can't just stall things out or grind a bunch of levels, because you will later on get infinite reinforcements, quote-unquote infinite reinforcements. Yeah. So for example, if we look around here, we can see that, now, against this unit, we do pretty good, but against these ones, not quite as much.
Yes, sir.
Meanwhile, Lex would do pretty good against those units. And Joseph, I'm gonna say Joseph so many times, it's just Joseph. Will do very well against them.
Your villainy ends here.
You can skip battles. I think we can, at least at this point. Can we at this point? We might not be able to at this point. Okay, well you can skip battles later on, just by pressing the plus button. That will, well, yeah, it allows you to skip. And that's annoying. Yeah, okay, we can't quite do anything yet. Joseph is a promoted class, which means that he has a base of 2 in each of his AP and PP. You know, so just annihilates enemies right now. However, he gains very little experience. By default, every unit has just 1 AP and PP. However, again, there's 2 levels of classes. There's your basic classes, which is what all of us are right now, except for Joseph. And then your advanced classes, promoted classes, whatever you want to call them. I think it's just promoted classes. That will have 2 in each. And also, this prologue is longer than I thought. I thought we could skip. I thought the story wasn't quite as in-depth, but it's fine. We get a good break after this fight. After this part of the mission, I should say. Of course, you gain a lot more experience when a unit is killed. Or when you defeat a unit, I should say. Yeah.
Onward. Come.
This struggle will only prolong the pain. Accept the mercy of a swift demise.
I fail to understand, Hodrick. What has motivated this shift in allegiance?
Joseph, Cornea's most decorated knight. I shall close the book on your tale myself. Not today.
Again, while we're still in early game, there's a lot of just tutorialization to do. I'll go, again, I'm gonna go more in depth about things next time, in our next mission. But for right now, Joseph can just take out the front enemy. Such firm defenses. Weapons barely leave a scratch. Perhaps my magic would work then. Leave this to me, Elaine. So yeah, we can fast forward. Actually, so I don't want to actually move for right now because I want Lex to get some experience.
Come, your villainy. This one's mine.
Yeah. Fast forward in battle as well. I don't really use fast forward all that much. Probably should, but again, a lot of time you can just speed things up with just skipping. So
You got it. The time is at hand. To me.
You can see that there's a little ring around Hodrick's unit. That means that, well, he will heal. Healing from a garrison will revive any defeated units, as well as, of course, healing them. I don't know exactly what the percentage is as Chloe levels up. You can see that she leveled up in a bunch of stats. We'll get to those later. There's also rankings. Rankings are just kind of a general, hey, here's what this class is good at.
We march.
And
onward.
We will now move ahead. Lex should be able to finish this off. Of course, we get a first strike. And down you go. First aid, so Chloe can heal herself up. Lex is not quite at the level.
You face
Move
me.
up to Hodrick.
Why are you doing this? You, who once stood as my mother's royal guard.
Enough of your questions, Will. Interfere, and I shall see you suffer for it.
So as you can see, our physical attacks do very little damage, but our magic does quite a bit. It's always good to have that. Now we can just have Elaine finish things off. And of course, bosses, as you would expect, give a lot more experience than other types of enemies. See?
Another step forth.
A lot more experience. Elaine levels up in a lot of stats. I believe every stat is... every level is... yeah. When you defeat the enemy's final base, you will automatically garrison it, so no worries there. There's a few exceptions to that. You can see at the very end that we have a completion bonus and a score. So we can see how quickly you've done it, how many areas you've liberated, how many enemies you defeated, and renown. What is renown? When we move on to this next one, you can see that our score is translated into war funds, which is just money, honors, which can be used to upgrade a lot of things, and renown, which doesn't do anything by itself. However, at each stage of levels, it will unlock new things for you to be able to do.
What foolishness is this? One such as I, brought low by the corneate vermin that gnawed our ankles.
You've fallen far indeed, Hodrick. How many times did you stare death in the face at Her Majesty's side? Now, look what you've become. I may stand as your swordmaster no longer, but I can yet offer you a merciful end to your descent.
Wait.
Your Highness.
Tell me, Hodrick, do you remember the times you and I played together? When I was still just a boy? Yours was a bond of loyalty few knights could hope to equal. Why cast that aside and bend the knee to Galerius? I refuse to cut down a friend without first knowing how we've reached this grim conclusion. A simple reason is all I ask. Please.
Elaine!
The ring! What sorcery is this?
Oh, my head. What am I doing here?
A spell to shackle the hearts of men.
'Tis the only way I can think to describe it, my prince. That ill-fated day, all the lords closest to your mother turned upon her without so much as a moment's notice. Unfortunately, my memories end there as well.
A frightful power, if what you say is true. This spell of control, it could be called. Such magic would go far in explaining how Galerius so swiftly brought Fevrith to its knees.
I shudder to think what unspeakable evil I wrought upon our world these last 10 years. Though there is no greater misdeed than turning my spear upon you, Prince Elaine.
That's enough. You mustn't blame yourself any further. But I do wonder, how is this ring capable of unmaking the spell?
In truth, I had believed it to be mere regalia, a symbol of your birthright and nothing more. To think the power of cleansing truly exists. Your Highness, that is the Ring of the Unicorn, ancestral treasure of Cornia's royal lineage. Legend speaks of your ancestors wielding it to purify evil, but I had believed such tales to be mere fiction.
The Orthodoxy has a similar story about the Holy Unicorn. How it was a sacred beast able to purge darkness from our lands. It's entirely possible that the ring that bears its image is somehow capable of that same power.
Should Galerius's rule be built upon a foul sorcery that fetters our people, then this ring is the ray of light that will pierce its wicked heart.
Your words ring true, my prince.
Indeed. Were we able to free those bound by his cruel magics?
It might just bring the Iron Wall of Zenoira crashing down.
All told, I've often found myself plagued with doubt. Is it justice that guides our march, or paltry vendetta? Yet the answer is clear as day now. The path before us is laid bare, and all that remains now is to walk it. Walk it I will, Mother. Today marks our first foray into the mists of despair which hang heavy over our home. Mists that will soon be dispelled. It may take days, months, or even years, but I shall see the duties of my bloodline fulfilled, and slay Galerius like the beast he is. And how does Hodrick fare?
Well, all things considered. Any fog that lingered in his mind seems to have cleared, and he stands ready to fight once more. By the way, Your Highness, allow me to brief you on our plans for when we arrive. Among the Liberation members I've mustered in my past excursions is a young yet skilled knight by the name of Clive. I'll ride to bring him to you the moment we reach solid ground.
You have my thanks.
A word, Elaine?
Is something wrong?
Well... No, it's nothing.
Are you sure? Anxiety will be the death of you if you keep it bottled up like that.
It really isn't important, I assure you. It's just... our lives have changed so drastically from the peace we had only yesterday. It barely seems real.
I can't say I feel any different. But I've always known this day would come. It's why I've spent all these years training under Joseph's careful instruction. A shame you never had the chance to meet my mother. She was always one to blaze a path forward, royal blade in arm. But as her heir, I intend to lead in much the same way.
Is that why you and Lex spent all your days banging swords down at the shore?
You've seen that, have you? You know, Hodrick was likely but one of many. And assuming the others who surrendered to Zenoira are being controlled as he was, we may just stand a chance in this. Yet our liberation is still in its nascent days. Promising, yes, but gravely fragile as well. Which is precisely why I'll need your help, Scarlet. To reclaim peace for all who have suffered.
Elaine, Of course. I'll do everything I can. As is my role as a priestess of the Palavian Church.
Hey, don't forget about me.
Lex.
What?
I'm sorry, my prince. Decorum doesn't come naturally to this fool.
It's all right. When you've known each other as long as we have, there's no reason to let formality bind us.
But there are protocols to observe. Rules we must follow as vassals in service of the crown. Still, I'm of the same mind. What mind he has, that is. I'll give my all in the royal name, your majesty.
Thank you all. I couldn't ask for a finer group of friends.